Hi, my name is Vanessa Dawson, and I'm the founder and CEO of Arbor. I'm here seeking $500,000 for 4% of my company.
Oh, yeah, she making money.
Sharks, did you know gardening is one of America's favorite pastimes? In fact, over 50% of the country has a green thumb or wants one. I turned to gardening when I became a mom to relieve my stress. And I quickly started to look at all of the ingredients that I was using on my lawn and garden. I realized quickly that this category is full of synthetic toxic chemicals. So when my kids or my pets were playing in the yard or helping in the garden, they were being exposed to these harmful ingredients. I knew I needed to come up with a solution. So I founded formulations based on science from organic, natural ingredients found in nature. Introducing Arbor, the world's first plant wellness system. Arbor is a line of effective organic plant care products that can be used on your lawns, on your vegetable gardens, on your raised flower beds, and your indoor plants. Our proprietary products are proven to work equal to or better than common synthetic ingredients and organic options on the market. We make lawn and garden care safe, simple, and sustainable. So Sharks, who's ready to help consumers more easily grow a better world?
We are back with another episode of or reaction breakdown video of Shark Tank. I am your host, almost 10-year intellectual property Dave, dealing with everything from trademarks to patents to copyrights, NILs, which is name, image, and likeness, as well as trade secrets. Now, I'll have to first say that I would imagine that she has a ton of sales based on that evaluation. I think it was around maybe $10 million, which I know the Sharks will definitely want to know the sales, particularly Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. But I think this is interesting because it's not a patent, it's not a trademark, it's not a copyright, or at least the name Arbor could be trademarked, and we'll look at the website to see what whether or not it's trademarked or not. However, when she says proprietary, that's like buzzwords. It's almost like in law school, we as we're reading these different articles, it was like buzzwords that you want to be on the lookout for, that you knew you needed to pay close attention to. So when you're listening at these things, obviously Lori, she typically is the one to ask for patents. But when somebody says proprietary, then that's when your ears should perk up as far as, hey man, what is new here? So it seems like they have a formula, which I would imagine that they have trade secrets on that. So just think of the Coca-Cola formula. Now, obviously you have to put the ingredients on the can or on the bottle of what's in it. However, you don't have to put the secret sauce, how it's mixed together, how it's a proportion. You don't have to put, I'm not sure, I'm not going to say you don't have to put how it's proportioned, but you don't have to put at least how it's mixed together to give you the secret formula. Like Coca-Cola, you have a ton of other cola sodas out there, but they still don't taste like Coca-Cola. I would imagine that the active ingredients are the same as Coca-Cola, but it still doesn't give you that taste that you get with Coca-Cola. I would imagine, I guess I'm not a big drinker of Coca-Cola, but I would imagine that it still doesn't give you that kind of that Coca-Cola soda gives you. So this is a similar thing. I would imagine that she has trade secrets. Now with trade secrets, it gives you an economic advantage. However, it's protectable as long as you're not disclosing a secret. So for example, if you have 100 employees at your company and only 1 or 2 of them, maybe 3 of them need to know this secret sauce to perform their job, then you are cool with protecting your formula in this case, as long as it's password protected. You're not giving it to everybody. You're taking reasonable measures to kind of protect the formula. Now, if the janitor also is able to get the secret sauce or the formula, then you're going to lose the trade secret protection on your formula in that case. And again, the interesting thing about trade secrets is you can make something, you can actually have it as a patent. A lot of times you can have trade secrets as a trade secret or a patent, or like these formulas, these recipes, things like that. However, with a patent, it expires after 20 years, and a trade secret lasts forever as long as you keep it a secret. Just think of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has been around for a long time, and the formula, people still don't know the formula. It's still been kept secret, and that because it lasts forever as long as you can keep it a secret. So to the extent that you have this proprietary, as she called it, formula, you want to make sure that, hey, let's talk about or start taking measures to keep it as a trade secret, as opposed to maybe a patent where we know it's out in the public because we have to disclose the secret sauce. That's kind of one of the exchanges for a patent. For giving you a patent, you have to disclose the secret sauce. But after 20 years, you no longer have a patent on it because it's in a public domain. But it's a trade secret, which a lot of times these kind of recipes, when you think of like the KFC formula, I guess the chicken formula for KFC, or you think again, like I said, Coca-Cola, or in this case, the proprietary software that kind of creates this formula for you to spray on your plants and things like that, or in your garden. That stuff that's typically saved for trade secret protection, which lasts forever. Hopefully you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, because this is important stuff. And I wanted to point that out. Let's get back to it to see what the sharks say about it. I know they're going to ask for sales and maybe some background information. So let's get it.
In front of you, you guys have our best-selling holistic plant care kit and a new plant baby to take care of.
So, was worth $8 million.
Right.
Oh, I'm worth it. So yes, each of those bottles ranges anywhere from $21 to $25 MSRP.
Each bottle?
Yes,
So
however, highly concentrated. So if you have an indoor garden, this 16-ounce pack is going to last you for the year.
So what makes it unique?
Wow.
There does not exist another active ingredient like ours in our insecticide on the market in the US. The strain of bacillus that we use, we've partnered with a manufacturer to take this exclusively to home and garden market.
So there's no other Vanessa out there that's just grinding, trying to be innovative, be natural.
Shockingly, no.
Okay, so how do you sell this?
So we are only 2 years old, and we actually launched in 3,000 Walmart doors when we were 4 months old.
Ooh.
We then scaled this year to
3,000.
1,700, near full store launch at Target
Wow.
this year.
Wow.
What did you sell last year? What are you going to sell this year?
Yeah, so our fiscal 2022 revenue was 2.7 million. We're going to be on track to do about 4.5 to 5 million this fiscal.
Will you make money this year?
We are not profitable yet, no.
And you feel compelled that you have to drive business through retail with all of the headaches you have to deal
Yeah,
with
shipping of this is
versus finding your customer online?
Well, Ken,
You know,
why don't we
let's
try
get-
to
let's
figure out
get
this
to the-
valuation?
let's-
She's almost at
I'm
10
going to
million.
assume these are the best products. Let's just start with that
All right.
assumption, okay? Let's try and figure out if it's worth $8 million.
Yeah, definitely.
What are your margins? Let's walk
Yeah,
through
what
your
are you
margins.
making it for? What are you
Yeah,
selling
so
for?
we have really strong margins for the industry. We're at about 50 to 53%, blended across all channels and across all
So what
product
do you,
SKUs.
let's look at a bottle at Walmart. What does it cost you to make?
So landed cost is anywhere from $7 to $10,
And how much are you selling it to them?
around 9 10, yeah.
The
Well,
margins
that's
aren't
not
that
a
great.
good margin.
Thin margins.
margins like that with all the ancillary costs associated with branding and education. I mean, it is a rabbit hole that we've seen so many entrepreneurs go down just to chase sales.
Yeah.
Vanessa, what sales level gets you to break even?
About 9 million.
And if you get
And-
to 50,
And I want to stop because I thought that was interesting. And again, I mean, I say this in pretty much all the videos. If you just take they're going to get some growth in sales just by the exposure of being on Shark Tank. And whether or not they get a deal, I don't even kind of worry about at this point whether the sharks whether the contestants get a deal. To the extent that they get a deal and it works out, great. But they're going to benefit regardless of whether they get a deal just from the exposure. But always like to listen to the feedback that the sharks are giving you, because a lot of times I think they're giving you amazing feedback. And I think what Mark just said was pretty profound, in that a lot of times it seems like people want to just get sales so much. And okay, you're getting sales, but you're not profitable, or you are, again, the margins may be thin, or you're kind of doing all this additional stuff as far as marketing and advertising, spending on marketing and advertising, and trying to maybe create new products in some cases where it's you kind of distracted, so to speak, as opposed to just kind of focusing on kind of making money, like reducing your costs, your expenses, and then just kind of perfecting, okay, how you're selling it. So if you're doing it online, how can we perfect that as opposed to maybe going to retail, and then, or vice versa? If you're selling it in retail, how do we perfect that before maybe start selling it direct to consumer online, or whatever the case may be? So I think that and he seems like he's going to go down this path, this road Mark is, but I think that's important, because it was, and I'm not going to say the name of the company, but they were doing all this stuff to get sales, and they had amazing sales, but they weren't profitable and they weren't making money. Ultimately, they did not get a deal, but it was in part because they were spending so much on advertising, or kind of cutting back the cost of, just selling things to move the inventory, as opposed to focusing on how can we sell this stuff, how can we perfect the way we're selling it, and kind of increase our income and reduce our expenses. It seems like that a lot of time is missed with these pitches. And I'm not saying that hers is missed, but I think the feedback that the sharks a lot of times are trying to help you out with these particular things is profound. And I think that's worth really being on the show as well. So Let's see what Mark has to say a little bit more in detail about that. Let me know if you agree with me in the chat, in the comment section. Let me know if you agree with what I just said, or if you disagree. That's cool too. That's just kind of my thoughts as I kind of listen to these things over and over again. Let's go.
15 million in sales, how much could you put to the bottom line?
My target is to get to about, like 15% EBITDA by the time we get to around, like 13 to 15 million.
So make $1.2 million, give or take.
Yeah.
Okay, look, your margins aren't escalating as you're growing, right? And to me, I just don't like to chase top line. I like to chase bottom line. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
But congrats.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to jump in here. The packaging is beautiful. I just felt like I was opening a special gift when I opened this
Nice.
box.
It is beautiful.
But the education piece and the margins make me a little nervous. And so for all of those reasons, I'm out, but I wish you a lot
All
of luck.
right, thank you, Candace.
All right, so here's what I think about it, Vanessa. You're going down a lot of paths, which you should. You should, stick your finger in a lot of pies to see what works.
Yeah.
I don't think it's defined yet. I think you're going to have a lot of challenges. You'll find one of those paths, but right now, it's just not for me. I'm out.
Thanks, Noon.
Well, I will tell you, I think I love what you've done, but you're
good.
offering 500K for 4%. And I'm going to.
Man, a lot of times, and sorry to cut Lori off in that way, but a lot of times I start to think, do people come on with these crazy offers? Again, not saying her offer was crazy, but do people come on with these offers that the sharks think are crazy just to, again, just because they know they're going to get exposure and they don't really care about even trying to scare a deal. Hey, let me get the exposure. You should be also trying to get the feedback, and to the extent that I get a deal, great. If not, it's cool as well. So you almost kind of doing this crazy offer to not get a deal, I guess ultimately is what I'm trying to say. Again, I'm not saying that she is doing that, but I wonder if that's like a strategy of some of these contestants that come on. Let me know if you think that's a strategy. I think it is, even though they probably never say it, but I definitely think it is. Let's get back to Lori and her thoughts on it.
To be your customer, I just don't think it's right for me as an investment.
All right,
So,
thank you,
I'm
Lauren.
sorry.
No
I'm out.
worries.
As usual, all roads lead back to my garden.
I can see him
That's
doing a
what's happening
royalty on
here.
this.
I don't know if it's worth $8 million and how I'd ever get back $500,000 if I gave it to you.
Royalty? I don't know. You're the royalty.
Told you. Hey, look at that.
That's not insecticide
He's
to my
turning
ear.
red.
Hey, look at I'm giving you guys this in real time. I don't listen to these things beforehand just because I got a lot of other stuff that I'm doing. So I try to give you guys my real time thoughts, and I do think that makes for a better show when I do it. But it just seems like this is something that they're selling a lot. So it seems like with Kevin, that they're selling a lot of product, but they're not maybe necessarily profitable, but they still will sell. That's when it's like, okay, I can see him taking a royalty. Now, like with the last lady when she was kind of selling the sip herbals, even though she was making money, it wasn't selling a ton. But when you start talking about selling $10 million or $11 million in revenue with this thing, then that's when he's like, okay, it's not profitable, so I don't love it from that standpoint, but can I at least get a royalty to reduce my my exposure into this thing until I get my money back, and then I can kind of come in at whatever percentage or equity percentage at that point. So you kind of start to learn kind of what the sharks are going to say as you listen to some of these things as well. So let's get back to Kevin and see if I guess what his royalty deal is going to be.
They said the word royalty.
So you are open to creative financial
I
strategies.
am open.
Creative
Yes, definitely.
financial strategy.
The idea is to definitely diversify and make big box and retail about 50%
wonder how
of the
much
business, and then independent
Pause,
garden centers or wholesale e-commerce companies about 25% of the business, and then growing D2C to 25 or 30% of the business too.
I got to tell you, she's smart as a whip.
No, look, I get it. And
She's the real deal.
I'm in the space, and look, here's the deal. I don't have a lot of flexibility because you asked for too much money. I'll do it for $1 a unit.
Okay.
The royalty goes away after I get back $1.5 million.
Okay.
Okay, it's not perpetual, and I get 5% equity in the company's smuck concerns.
That's not that bad. I done seen him
We
do
do
a lot
50
worse.
cents a unit.
No, that's a 4-year period to break even.
Well, not if we continue to double our sales with you by
but
my
you're
side.
planning to double your sales where your margins are practically zero in retail.
50%
I'm going to let you
margin? What in this
but
category? That's strong.
you haven't experienced what we all have for 15 years. We play big box here. We know how it works, okay? We've been doing it a really long time. But I think you're smart enough to pivot, okay? If this doesn't work out for you in retail, the message here works direct to consumer.
Yeah.
That's how
You'd
you
make
put
more
gasoline
money.
on
Your
the fire.
sales wouldn't be as high, but you'd make more money.
And you have an in-house team.
I mean, look, I'm not telling you what to do. You're smart as a whip.
He is the king of insecticide with all those cockroach deals he's doing.
True.
Well, my greatest entrepreneurs are women entrepreneurs that pivot. They figure it out. I think you're about to pivot.
I like that.
Okay. You won't do 50 cents?
No.
Okay.
You're allowed to say no.
Yeah, definitely allowed to say no.
What do you want to do? I've made you an offer, yes or no?
But I'll reject it.
I think I'm gonna have to pass on the offer. I very much
I appreciate
it.
Mm.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm definitely
of
buying
luck.
this.
Congrats,
I really like
Vanessa.
it.
You have an amazing business.
I
Well
really
done.
appreciate it. Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone.
Aw.
But I'm definitely going to try to get her on the show, man. She has an amazing personality, an amazing business, and like Kevin and Damon said, she is smart as a whip. And again, this is one of the things why I also try to do these reaction videos and interviews where I bring on guests, as well as like just trying to get people to invest in their intellectual property, because 15, 20, 30 years ago, you weren't able to do it if you couldn't get into a Walmart or into a Target, which had limited shelf space. So it was almost like this waiting game where people had to wait till they get into one of these big box retailers or these kind of retail spaces to be able to kind of have a business. Where now with Amazon, and you can have social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you have all these platforms to be able to build your business, D2C, build your community. And at that point, and as a result, I should say, make a ton of money. Kudos for her for rejecting the deal. I actually didn't think in comparison to some of the other royalty deals that I heard Mr. Wonderful give. He pretty much gave her what she wanted. He took 1 more percent, so he's going to give her the $500,000 for 5%, but he wanted $1.5 million, or the dollar on the royalty to get $1.5 million. It definitely reduced his exposure, given the margins on things, which I guess I didn't think was a big situation or a big deal, or I thought it was one of his better royalty payments, I should say. Now, I do think that, again, just like you said, her being able to pivot to the D2C and as opposed to the retail, because it's so much to get in retail. I know a lot of people want to get into retail, and I guess rightfully so, but you spend a lot in retail and then you have to be on it, because the first time that something happens, and whether it's the order's not fulfilled or maybe something is going off the shelf, then you're in trouble. That's probably your last time being a retailer, at least with that retailer. So, but with D2C, you can, as Mark said, you're going to make money. Your margin's going to be a lot better. You may not make as much money as being in retail, which again, sometimes you still may make more money as far as compared to being in retail, but your margins are going to be better because you don't have all the costs that you have when kind of going into retail. So hopefully that makes sense. Kudos to her. The good thing is she has a trade secret on the formula. So I'm assuming, she said proprietary, and I'm assuming that if she had got good counsel, if she would have came to me, I would have told her, okay, let's take steps to get you a trade secret as opposed to a patent, because it's going to be able to last forever as long as you keep this thing a secret. And heck, you can have a business for hundreds of years at that point, something that you're passing it down from generation to generation. So I'm assuming that she has a trade secret on the proprietary formula, and if that's the case, she's going to be around for a long time. So I think she is going to make the pivot as excuse me, as some of the sharks talked about. Let's check out the website here really quickly, see what she has going on the website. Here we go. So Arbor, it looks like she does have, and this is how sophisticated she is. Actually, I'm starting to do a little bit more of the trademark searching ahead of time just so I can kind of see what's going on. She has a Delaware corporation. I don't think the business is located in Delaware. Maybe I'm wrong, but she has a Delaware corporation, which lets you know how sophisticated she is, because when you're talking about bigger companies, a lot of times they are incorporated into Delaware because there's a lot of benefits that come with it. Don't ask Elon Musk about that, but most other big corporations are incorporated in Delaware as a result of the benefits that come along with that. So that's a big thing for her. She does have a trademark on it. That's why I was going with this thing. So since it is a registered trademark, I would like to see the R in a circle. Since it is a registered trademark, to the extent that it wasn't registered, if it wasn't registered, but she's using Arbor in a registered manner, I would like to see the TM on the side of it. But to the extent that it's registered, which in this case it is, put the R in a circle. Again, she has the plant care product concern. Let me see here. I want to see if it's our impact, the science. I want to see if she talks about whether or not she has a patent or a trade secret on here, because I know she talked about proprietary formula. Biology's harness. Probably should have did it beforehand. It's okay though. Mission. Yeah, I would almost guarantee that she has a trade secret on this as opposed to a patent. That'd be the way to go. But I mean, and good for her. So she, again, I would definitely put the Arbor on the website, but not only on the website. Let's see. Let's look at the products here. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, I would also put the Arbor and the R in a circle at the end of the packaging, the bottle packaging, just to put people on notice that, hey, I have a trademark term and I will enforce it to the extent that I have to. This and the other thing, which as I bring it back on myself, the other cool thing about trade secrets is it's kind of it's tougher to knock off. A lot of times with patents or trademarks, it's, it can be easier to, not I want to say easier, but it can be more likely that it gets knocked off. But again, if you don't have the secret sauce, it's going to be tough to kind of knock off this. So a lot of times to her advantage, she doesn't have to worry about infringers from that aspect of it. So I do think she's going to incorporate some of the feedback that she got from the Sharks. And I mean, I think she's ultimately going to be successful. She's already wildly successful, making a ton of money. I think she's a move away from kind of reducing those expenses and kind of making even more money. The fact that she has a trade, her IP protected or proprietary information, which to me as an IP attorney, as a patent attorney, it tells me that it's protected and it's such that others can't get a hold to it. That means she has the advantage to really build a brand and be around for a long time, even longer of a time, to the extent that it's a trade secret that's that is on a product. So let me know what your guys' thoughts is. If you have used the Arbor product, it seems like this bottle, a box, which I think Casey or Lori maybe commented on as far as the aesthetic of it, which I do think is a pretty cool packaging. But it seems like this it lasts you for a year, and for $100, I think the kit, which he said the holistic kit lasts for a year and it's only $100. I think it's well worth it for sure. And yeah, man, I think she's going to definitely be around, man. She's very smart. She great personality, upbeat. So yeah, she definitely, I think, is going to be around just with a move or two. She's she's going to be the real deal. She's already the real deal. She's definitely going to go into another stratosphere. Let me know if you guys have used this or if you guys would use. I would like to know your comments, your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time, you guys have a good one. Take care.